It is the rivalry that has been going on for the last probably 18 years, since Super Bowl 42, which everybody probably still hasn't gotten over with, like myself back when I was 10 years old. Patriots against the New York Giants. And right now, everybody thinks that the Patriots are going to win this game, but I'm going to say hold your horses because they always play a good game. Welcome to Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper, and the Giants' record, they're 2-8. I think they're even worse now, but this team is a lot better than their record shows, man. This team is way better than their record shows. They are competing in every single game. They have fired their coach. They have fired their DC. Their team is talented, and it seems like every single game they have their chance to win, but the fourth quarter comes around, and it just goes up, all the way down. And if we talk about the games that they have gone through this entire season, look at this one. You had 15 seconds left on the clock, 37-34 against the Cowboys. That ended up in a loss. You're up 14-3 against the Saints. That ended up with a loss. 26-8. You see how much time is left in the fourth quarter? Loss. Bears game, lost. And then last week against the Detroit Lions, you're up 10 in the fourth quarter. And you lost. The Giants have the opportunity to win all of these games. You win all those, well, you're in playoff contention, and you're looking like a way better team. But instead, you only have 2 wins on the year, and it's looking like another unsuccessful season for the Giants. But their talent, that is nothing to say that they're not. So, if you want the Patriots to win their 10th straight game, yeah, can you believe it? This has been 10 straight victories. It's been over 2 months since we last saw the Patriots lose back against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Week 3. And what jerseys were they wearing? Well, they were wearing the throwbacks. And what are we wearing this week? We're wearing the throwbacks. I hope they're not cursed, but don't jinx it. Go ahead, hit that thumbs up icon. When it comes to the Patriots against the New York Giants, this game is always a battle. It didn't matter if the Patriots were Super Bowl contenders. It didn't matter if the Giants with Eli Manning or Daniel Jones were the absolute laughingstock of the NFL. They always knew how to get to Tom Brady. They always knew how to play this team. And in the past couple of years, if we go all the way back from their last 5 games, there's only one game that has not been decided by one possession. We go back to 2023. This is my favorite one because that got a strike May. If you go to 2019, the Patriots won in a blowout. 2015, that was the game-winning kick by Steven Gostkowski. Super Bowl 46, it is what it is. And then 2011, that was the day after my birthday, and the Giants won that game 24-20. That was also the day of all the Penn State stuff that came out, Producer Coop, if you didn't know that. That was a crazy day back in 2011. I don't care who's on the roster. I don't care if Jackson Dart's going to play or it's going to be Jameis Winston. I know Cam Scadaboo is out for the year. I know that Malik Neighbors is out for the year. The New York-Boston rivalry is always competitive, and it's always going to be a great game. We saw them back in the preseason where they always meet, and the Giants beat the living daylights out of them because none of the Patriots starters played. I think they're going to take that into consideration and want to beat the crap out of the Giants. But I know that the Giants are always going to be ready, and they're always going to bring their pass rush. They also have a little boost to their defense because earlier this week, Mike Kafka, their interim head coach, he fired the defensive coordinator, Shane Bowen. And offensive linebackers coach Charlie Bowen will assume the defensive coordinator role. And we talked about Shane Bowen on this channel before, just a couple days ago. I think he's going to be on the New England Patriots within the next year. I'm guaranteeing it with how close him and Mike Vrabel are. But they're going to get that interim boost that they have not had. You got the interim boost? Well, when you fired Brian Daboll, but you still ended up losing the games because they just can't compete in the fourth quarter. And why can't they compete in the fourth quarter? Well, it's because of their defense. Just like last week against the Cincinnati Bengals, they have one of the worst defenses in the league. And so do the Giants. You can see it right here. 30th in yards per game. Their passing yards, they're in the bottom half. Rushing yards, they are now after last week because the Patriots didn't get any run yards against the Cincinnati Bengals, and Jahmyr Gibbs went off against the Giants. The Giants are now 32nd. Points per game is 30th, and they're pretty mid on third down at 40% per game. But the one thing I'm worried about, and because, well, the Patriots O-line has taken, they've got to be depleted by now. We'll get into that in a second. But you have Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter. This team is really good. And then on the inside, you have Dexter Lawrence. Those are 4 playmakers on the defense that you're going to have to worry about every single snap on offense. And now, with Will Campbell and Jared Wilson being out, because this is your offensive line going into Sunday's game. You're missing Will Campbell. You're missing Jared Wilson. Vidarian Lowe, Ben Brown, Garrett Bradbury, Mike Uwenu, Morgan Moses. They're going to have to play their best game, or Drake May is going to run for his life. Run for his life. So I'm a little worried about that defensive line from the New York Giants, because they haven't been doing much, and I kind of blame Shane Bowen for that. But now with a different defensive coordinator, I think they're going to rush a lot. And Drake May is also the second most sacked quarterback in the NFL. Question was, he hasn't played the last 2 games. Is Jackson Dart going to play against the Patriots? Well, according to Jordan Raanan, who is a huge beat reporter for the G-Men, and he says he is trending towards playing this week versus the Patriots. And this has been the high note for the New York Giants. They started off with Russell Wilson, and it was pretty much a joke. And then they went to Jackson Dart, and he has been just bringing the highs to New York. And if you see the stats compared to Drake May, Jackson Dart hasn't started every game. He's also missed 2 games because of injury. But the stats don't lie. He's had a pretty good QB rating. His interceptions, only 3, 10 touchdowns. That's a really good touchdown-interception ratio, 62% completion percentage, and 1,400 yards. I'm very, very, very excited to see this QB battle, because Drake May has become one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He is second favorite to Matthew Stafford to win MVP. And then what you've seen from Jackson Dart so far, it seems like that those two are going to be some of the top quarterbacks in the future. And this is the first time that they'll meet. Now, they could meet later down the line, a couple years from now, who knows? But this is going to be an exciting QB battle to watch on Monday night. I'm going to ask you guys, who you got? Because this is a big rivalry. We hate each other. The Patriots hate the Giants. The Giants hate the Patriots, and the Giants, they still have the 2 Super Bowls over us, but we're not going to talk about that. Type your NEs down in the chat for what you think who is going to win. Give me an NE, or if you're a Giants fan, give me an NYG. Going to get to our injury report and the keys to victory in a second. But first, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. You know, I absolutely love Prize Picks, and now it's the holiday season, the best time of the year for sports, bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff push-ins. It's all happening at once, and while you and I are out here making decisions every day on what gifts to buy, what to eat, what game to watch, there is one place where it feels good to be right: Prize Picks. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less than 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if your picks are right, you could cash in. Prize Picks now has early payouts. If your lineup gets out to a hot start, you may have the option to cash out these winnings before the game even finishes. I love how straightforward Prize Picks is. I don't have to spend time calculating my payouts. Prize Picks makes it easy with their payout multipliers. Whether it's a simple 3x or a big 2000x, it makes it easier to understand how much I win. And you know, we got Thanksgiving games on Thursday, so I made a lineup. I got Jared Goff, the more on his passing yards at 239.5. Patrick Mahomes, give me the more at 267.5 passing yards. Joe Burrow, he's making his return. Did not make it last week against New England, but I'm going to take the less. I think he's going to be a little rusty at 255.5 passing yards. You can make a lineup just like that one when you download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Okay, so talking about the injury report, the Giants, they did not release their injury report because I don't think they're practicing on Wednesday. The Patriots, most of the guys were having a little rest day. I know Morgan Moses didn't practice. Harold Landry didn't practice because of just quote-unquote veteran rest, but obviously Jared Wilson and Will Campbell were not at practice. Everybody else is pretty much good to go. Now, Diana Rossini said this about Will Campbell and Jared Wilson, and she was obviously right. They're expected to miss at least 4 weeks for Will Campbell with a knee injury and will be on IR. But rookie left guard Jared Wilson has received much better news and could be back much sooner. And we saw today that he was not placed on IR, and I don't think they're going to be placing him on IR. Now with the bye week, he's going to be missing 2 weeks right then and there, and that's going to help him. But the Patriots did place another player on IR, which I thought was a little interesting because I don't even remember him getting hurt. Patriots placed cornerback Alex Austin on IR. Suddenly, they're lacking depth at cornerback. They only have 4 healthy corners on the roster. But they did activate Miles Battle to the 53. They elevated him, so now they have 5 healthy cornerbacks on the roster. Alex Austin, we know him. He was replacing Christian Gonzalez while he was out suffering from recovering from a hamstring injury. And since the game's on Monday, we had no Giants injury report that I saw, but I know that Jackson Dart was going to be a full participant, still in concussion protocol, but he's expected to play, and I'm expecting him to play if he's a full participant in practice. Going to the keys to victory. Well, first one, we're going to talk about the offensive line because I need Vidarian Lowe and Ben Brown to be serviceable. That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for you to be all pros. I'm not asking for you to be Pro Bowlers. I'm not asking for you to even be Will Campbell and Jared Wilson. Those two are going to be starting. It's guaranteed now. Mike Vrabel has said it himself. Those two are starting. You have to protect Drake May against this pass rush. I don't want Brian Burns to be all over the quarterback. I don't want Abdul Carter and Dexter Lawrence to get through the line of scrimmage and get to Drake May. And if you put pressure on him, Drake May's still pretty solid, but the stats don't lie. When he's kept clean, it's almost a 78 completion percentage, 16 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions, 119 QB rating, and 7 turnover-worthy plays just because he throws a lot more, kept clean and under pressure. But under pressure, that drops all the way down to 55 completion percentage. The touchdowns, yeah, he only throws 5, and he still throws 2 interceptions. QB rating drops, and the turnover-worthy plays, they exceed when you compare to the snap share of when he's kept clean and under pressure. You got to protect Drake May. I know he's great at being elusive in the pocket. That one touchdown throw to Hunter Henry was absolutely perfect. A way to be able to avoid the pressure, step up in the pocket. But when you have 2 guys on the outside edge and you have 1 guy in the middle, it's going to be very hard. So just keep the pocket clean, Vidarian Lowe. I'm looking at you. Once again, make me eat my words because right now you're my worst nightmare. You're my worst nightmare. The second one, run the football. I know the edge rushers are great. I know Dexter Lawrence is great. I keep talking about him on this video. But the Giants' run defense is awful. This run defense sucks. It is terrible, and I truly don't understand why it's so bad. And I looked at the advanced analytics, and I looked at some charts, and I found this. And you see, this is the run defense, EPA per rush, and also expected rushes. Like you can see right there, the Patriots are at the top right because we know how good this run defense is. But all the way at the bottom left, that's how bad it is. The Giants are last. Dead last. So you can get through. You can bust through the line of scrimmage. And you know what that means? When you got a speedy guy like that, well, the Patriots now have a speedy running back, and I think that he is going to be running back 1 for the rest of the season. Maybe an overreaction Monday on the Monday video I posted that Ramondre Stevens is getting benched. I think he's still recovering from his toe injury, but you got to get Travion Henderson involved. You have to have him run the football. 15 carries, maybe even 18 carries, because right now, the run offense is still non-existent. Through 12 games this year, the Patriots have only had 1 100-yard rusher this season. And it came from Travion Henderson only because, well, guess what? He had a 55-yarder and a 69-yarder. You take away those 2 runs, and he has, what, 40 yards, 50 yards? Yeah, that's the only time we've ever had a 100-yard rusher. It has nothing been like, hey, we're going to get 6 yards per carry a game, like all those carries. No, it's been explosive plays. So you got to involve the run game here. You have to. Third key to victory, contain Jackson Dart. Contain him because we know how good he can throw the ball. If you watched him, well, he's very good at throwing the football. But also one thing that very sneaky about him is one of his attributes is his running ability. He is able to make plays with his legs. He is able to run throughout the pocket, step up, and take off for big gains. Why do you think he's been in concussion protocol 5 times? Because he always runs the football. And like Drake May, doesn't slide. But if you look at his rushing stats, 57 attempts, 317 yards. That's more than Drake May. And we talk about how Drake May is a sneaky good quarterback at running the football. And the Patriots don't run him enough. But that one big statistic right here, 7 touchdowns. That's how they try and score. Jackson Dart steps back up in the pocket, sees the hole, takes off running right into the end zone. You have to keep a spy on him at all times. You have to contain on the edge. I want Harold Landry and K'Lavon Chaisson to not kind of go inside. I want them to stay on the outside so he can't run outside. I want Robert Spillane to be on the eyes of the quarterback right in the middle of the field at all times. I do not want to be able to see Jackson Dart step up in the pocket and take off. It's going to make me go crazy, and I don't want that to happen. And usually the Patriots are really good, except against the Falcons, but we know how Michael Penix just can't really run the football. The last one, red zone defense, because it still annoys me to this day. 5 days, whatever, how long it's been since Sunday. It's been, 3 days now? Be able to convert in the red zone. The Patriots have one of the worst red zone offenses in the NFL. And that's crazy to think because Drake May leads the NFL in passing yards, and they're also one of the top scoring teams in the NFL. But their conversion rate in the red zone is 54.8%, which is 20th. And we'll go back to against the Cincinnati Bengals, who have one of the worst defenses in the league, and they had the ball at the 1-yard line. Not once, not twice, not 3 times. They had the ball at the 1-yard line 7 times. And how many times did they get in? 0. You went 0 for 7 on the goal line last week. What are we doing? You're supposed to have Ramondre Stevenson run the ball up the middle. You're supposed to have Travion Henderson run the ball up the middle. Drake May somehow just does not know how to QB sneak. It feels spoiled back in the day when we had Tom Brady just find the hole right between the tackles. Drake May can't do that, and he doesn't put the ball over. We can't run the tush push. It just cannot happen. When you're at the 1-yard line and you get 7 opportunities and you can't convert, that's a major problem. And if we go through that major problem against the teams down the line, when you got to play the Bills, you got to play the Ravens, and hey, when you get to the playoffs and you have to play a good team and you can't score in the red zone, where you're going to go home. Sad. And that just cannot happen. You got to have better red zone offense. Go ahead and predict the score for me. What do you think? What's going to be Patriots versus the New York Giants? Let me know down in the comments section. I think this game's going to be very, very, very close. I think it's going to be very close, as it always is. 4 out of the last 5 matchups with the Patriots and the Giants have been a 1-score game. But I think the Patriots squeeze this one out. I think the Giants, with how depleted they are, I know Jackson Dart's going to be back, but they don't really have much wide receivers. Cam Scattaboo's out. I think the Patriots win this one 24-23. You let me know down in the comments section. And while you're down there, also hit that sub button. We are going to be live for Monday's game, 7 o'clock Eastern time. You don't want to miss out. But as always, have a happy Thanksgiving. And as always, let's go Pats.